You better buckle up. This is all I could say for today's show here. You better buckle up. By the way, the next 4 hours, powered by our great friends at BetUS. Wow. What an amazing weekend in sports. College football over the weekend. NFL, obviously, on Sunday. And that shitty football game I saw on Sunday at Lincoln Financial between two bad football teams. That's what it was. Eagles and Browns were two bad teams. You can say whatever you want. Well, the Eagles have more time. It was two bad football teams. It was just two bad football teams going back and forth. Two bad teams. One team with higher expectations than the other team, the Browns, had no right being on that football field. That was a bad game. You come away from that game, and guess what we do here? That looks like 2023. It's going to catch you again. It's going to catch you again. By the way, all super chats go to the top. We stop whatever we're doing and we put those up. Please hit the like button. But what more to say? I mean, first two drives. Hurts is 0 for 5. No points and a ton of 3 and outs. Starting fast? I thought the objective was to start fast. What were you working on in the bye week? Oh, I know. Nick Sirianni screaming at Eagle fans. By the way, do you know your coach is now a national punchline? And he's one of the absolute most embarrassing things in sports to talk about now? Gabe, how about them Cowboys? Wow. My favorite to win the Super Bowl destroyed him. Do you know your coach is now a national disgrace? And then he takes his kids up there because he was afraid of the big bad wolf known as the Philly media? That's what you do? I thought I was watching a scene from Equalizer when Denzel, at least he was trying to defend himself, grabbed the guy's kid and got in the car. Holy shit. This guy's a coward. This guy's everything that's wrong with being a head football coach. My God. I mean, he is so unbecoming. That's the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. I can't believe it. I can't believe that guy's your coach. I mean, it's embarrassing. Screaming at his own fans. He said he got jacked. Dude, he was upset because they started a chant of Fire Nick. You don't have. Here's the one thing that I've learned about these Eagle fans. They know when you're lying. And they're not going to defend it. They're not going to defend. Hey, by the way, I saw the John McMullen thing about him being, I don't fucking care about Nick Sirianni being a villain. Hey, that's good stuff for whatever. At the end of the day, that's my coach. You're an embarrassment. Hey, he doesn't care anymore. Hey, dude, half the building was behind you on Sunday. 25% more of the building is now against you. 75%, in my opinion, of the Eagle fan base hates this guy. Hates this guy. Dude, they went in spite of this idiot. He is an idiot. What are you trying to accomplish? By the way, I'm not going to start my program out and make this thing here a 4-hour soliloquy on how much of a dick that guy is as a coach for the Eagles. We're going to get into the game. We're going to look more into who played well because it is about the players. But please, that can't be the storyline coming out of that thing. And once again, it's an uninspired effort. You look the same as you did a year ago, which means to me, you haven't addressed anything. Hey, Kellen Moore's the wrong OC for that guy as of right now. He's the wrong OC. 2022 and 23 were criticized for fast starts and wobbly endings. Now they have a good third and fourth quarter point differential, so I guess that's different. Dez, do me a favor, Dez. Tell me something, Dez. Does this football team in 24 look like the 23 team? You're 4-8. And don't they look like the same football team? That looks like you're going to get caught again. They look like the same football team. I mean, you can't score more than 20 points against the Cleveland. The Browns have a good secondary. Okay? By the way, this isn't really anything to do with Hurts, but kind of it does. So wait a minute, let me get this right. Brandon Graham and all the players on the Eagles wanted Nick to act like that? Getting into arguments with players on the sidelines again? Hey, by the way, he is involved in the play calling. It's evident. He is more involved in the play calling than what people think. You know why? Because at times it sucks. It's either Kellen or him. Or both. Dude, the Browns are the worst roster in the league offensively. That quarterback is absolutely ass. Holy cow. They are ass with him at the quarterback position. Dude, Deshaun Watson has to be benched. For the serenity of the rest of the roster and the players that are trying to win games, you got to put that guy on the bench. He absolutely sucks. Dude. God, is there a ton to get to. Angelo Cataldi will be with us at 4:30. Xander's going to be with us at 3:30. I can't wait to hear what Angelo says about this. That'll be at 4:30. Please hit the like button. Anthony, all of you guys, thank you so much for the super chats. Being incompetent is an issue. But him barking at us and blaming us for that environment is the worst thing I've ever seen as an Eagle head coach. Nick is the biggest joke in our history. Everything he does sucks. And I got to say this about Anthony. Anthony and I probably agree on 50% of the things here. And get this. He's unbecoming of the position of representing your city. This goes beyond being a coach. That guy represents your city as your head coach. He's a disgrace. Sirianni and Kellen are both involved, and you can tell when Nick calls a play because it's so bad it stalls the freaking drive. Absolutely. Xander, I may have missed the super chat there, the last one here before Daniel. My God almighty. No, I got it then. Okay. No, I thought it was a blue one. I got it. I see similarities, but I'm hoping they fix it. Thank you, Des. Got the Cowboys. I told you they'd spring oil. I'm going to give you my takeaways here in a second. Holy cow. It's utterly embarrassing. Yes, this morning I asked John, who's in charge of the game plan, because it looks the same as last year. Thank you, Prince. He says, it's Kelly. But why does it look the same? We have no identity again. Nick is the problem. Prince, you're right. It's Kellen Moore. He has his name on it like Brian Johnson did a year ago, but that's Nick. You see it. It looks the same. Prince, honest to God, you see it, don't you? It's the same. It's just got different names on it. Get this. How come Kellen Moore looks like Brian Johnson's playbook? Does that offense look any different to you than Brian Johnson's offense? I'm a Waker. You says it looked a little different. Yeah, because you had Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown on the field. But when you take them off, it exposes it as being the same. Sills, perhaps Nick would get more credit for scoring 20 points against a good Cleveland D if they didn't look so inept against the Falcons and the Saints and the Bucks. That offense is not... Dude, even Lane Johnson said it looks constipated. Take the players' word for it. They're not even happy with how they're playing. This is the same shit we heard a year ago. They were miserable. Hey, guys, how come we've been saying this the whole time? This shit here, yesterday's game, I'm not talking about winning. I'm talking about winning a Super Bowl. That football team is not a championship football team. And you got better against the shitty. It's, by the way, the Eagle defensive effort is fool's gold. Because the Browns are so incompetent. Better routes, but that's it. Better routes because there's more talented people out there. Dude, you think you're going to get, hey, Daniel, I'm not ripping you, dude. But Daniel, don't you think you're going to get better routes versus Paris Campbell and that guy fucking Ross versus Devontae and AJ? Don't you think you're going to get better routes? You know what solidifies a fan base? Pride. You win, you lose, but that's right, but you're a proud of our team kind of situation. Sirianni has made the Eagles into a laughingstock. Fans are pissed because it's impossible to be proud. Hey, dude, relative, you're dead on. Bro, you can barely win a game. But let me at least be proud of the whole thing. Hey, by the way, I don't think Eagle fans are going to be pissed off if the team is stumbling. But don't act like a dick about it. You know what I'm saying? Hey, dude, I told you this was going to be a bumpy start at the beginning of the year. None of you believe me. Well, it is. Get this. Even with your star players, it's going to be bumpy. You didn't want to believe me. Well, it is. But the point is, you don't have to be a dick about it. Eagles go 4-1 in the next 5 despite Nick. Possibly. Dude, Nick Sirianni makes it hard for Eagle fans to root for that team. It's one thing. And by the way, not just that stupid high school shit at the end of the game, screaming at his own fan base. The way he conducts himself on the sidelines with the situational play calling and those dumbass analytics and those stupid press conferences. He has to be the worst coach that's ever been in front of a microphone in Eagle history. Even Chip Kelly. This guy's the worst. I mean, he's terrible. And now he wants to take an asshole mentality. Sanders said something interesting. He goes, hey, Sills, isn't that kind of Philly, though? Screaming at their own fan base? What? Because what? They booed you because of the incompetent offense at the beginning? Playoffs. Like it. We can't even win a game. Talking about playoffs, Jim Moore's voice. Playoffs? Philly fans deserve a great coach. Nick has to go. How about this, 85? It's not so much that you, and of course you do, deserve a great coach. You need to have a coach that represents your city and is proud to coach in it, good and bad. Nick Sirianni's a front runner. When things are going great, he's awesome. When things go bad, he is terrible. It showed last year and it showed yesterday. He's terrible. He's a front runner. He's not qualified. You know, Nick might be a better head coach in his next stop if he ever gets that opportunity. He might be a better head coach. Honestly, because right now, he's a front runner. He's a front runner. Things go good, he's great. Things go shitty, absolutely the worst thing I've ever seen. The story coming out of that game is two things. The Eagles not looking like a championship team and you not having a championship coach. And by the way, don't you think that could potentially be synonymous with each other? The reason why you don't look like a professional team and a championship team is because your coach is not. Did you ever put that in there? Make Kelsey the coach at this point. Dude. Kelsey's a mouthpiece for the organization, too. I want a guy with some balls. Kelsey doesn't have any balls. He's got the organization's balls in his mouth, too. Try to get somebody in there that's going to have an ironclad fist. This is what we're going to do. This is how we're going to win. Jason Kelsey, be the worst hire on the planet. 2 weeks to prepare, bad coach and nearly $200 million in offense, and you get 20 points. My Commanders will, with a rookie quarterback, drop 34, less talent. Sirianni's behavior towards the fans 2 weeks later after Slay's debacle, weak leadership, weak minds, weak team. Xander, I missed the super chat in there because they're coming fast, and I appreciate it. By the way, guys, you guys are all great. Okay? Please hit the like button. 7 wins is the ceiling for the Eagles this year. Sills, here's the issue with Nick being a jackass to the fans after a suspect win. He mumbles and tucks tail after he loses. If you speak up after a win, don't fucking hide after you lose. Get to my takeaways here. Because I just don't want to make this about that asshole. He's an asshole. He's totally an asshole. I mean, dude, you don't have to like your coach. Okay? But don't make it harder on us. Dude, he makes their job hard. He makes their job hard. Just a complete asshole. Look at Even I'm Awake or You. It's all about him, Sills. Really? Why put yourself in the story? Why make yourself part of the story? Head coach, don't become part of the story. Will this front office ever hire a coach that they don't castrate before taking the job? No. Okay? A lot of truth in here, what Clear Voice says. Guys, please hit the like button. He's got free reign to act like an asshole like that. Being the owner. Hey, how about this? Do you think that guy owes you an apology? You think Sirianni owes the fans an apology? Just for his conduct. Hey, man, I got a little ahead of myself. And, Jarrell goes, fuck no. Okay? I'll tell you what then. If that guy doesn't say sorry, he's getting murdered every day on this program. And I'll tell you why. He's oblivious to who you are. He don't know who you are. He's a liar. He has no idea what that thing is. Dude, I'm going to tell you about what this is. It's a Canes thing. And you guys have it. Do the players really love Sirianni or do they have to say it? Probably the latter. You always hear that line with players saying it's a Canes thing. Well, I'm going to apply something to you and I'm going to let you share in it. This is called a Philly thing. It's not about winning and losing. It's about representing. And it's how you win and lose. It's about a process. It's about believing and having civic pride in who you play and what you play for. Proudest thing outside my family's being a Miami Hurricane. And one of them dudes, not just a Cane, one of them Canes. Historical Canes. You got a historical franchise. That guy doesn't know shit about it. Dude, he reminds me a little bit of Urban Meyer in a way. Urban Meyer was an absolute liar. Nick looks like a great family man, by the way. Meyer's not. Okay? Urban Meyer's not. And he has no character. I think Nick does. But this is way over his skis, being the head coach of the Eagles and repping Philly. Dude, there's a different deal when you rep a team from the New England area and from the Northeast than, say, anywhere else in the country. Those fucking fans demand it. Boston, Buffalo. Do you think there's any coincidence that some of those fans from some of those cities are the hardcore fans of all time? Pittsburgh, Philly, New York, Boston. Hey, 304, if you're in here, how about them Cowgirls? A little different, man, than, say, being a fan in Carolina. Carolina doesn't give a shit about the Carolina Panthers, even when they're winning. Down in that neck of the woods, you know who they care about? They care more about the Gamecocks than they do about Carolina. North Carolina care more about college hoop. Don't give a shit about the Carolina Panthers. That was embarrassing. I haven't even got to the game yet. By the way, there was some good moments by good people. We're going to get to that. But it's overshadowed by that ass clown, Nick Sirianni. Sills, you can't have an Eagle thing or a Philly thing when most of your players are transplants who are paycheck players. There's no sense of team pride or the drive not to fail your teammate. That's right, because you have mercenaries. These guys, he's talking about them being mercenaries and not being homegrown guys. Cowgirls, so down bad, had to remove the scoreboard. They shut the scoreboard off. You feel fulfilled after that 20. By the way, remember I told you, take the Browns and the points. They weren't going to score a shitload of points. There was, you know what? Xander and everyone, oh, they're going to put points. I'm like, no, they're not. What made you believe that? What, because you got AJ and Devontae back? Nothing's changed. I'm trying to tell you this. Nothing's changed. Holy crap. It doesn't matter who's out there. Nothing's changed. You're still not playing championship football. Hoss, this is going to catch you again like it did a year ago. Surely you see this. That nothing has been adjusted. I don't know what else to tell you. Bob told Nick to bring my kids up there. Probably. Bob thought it'd be a good idea to put the kids up there as human shields. Man, no way. If I knew I was going to get killed for that performance out of a bye and then behavior of the coach, I'd throw my kid up there. Hey, this is Danielle. How you doing? Don't be so mean to me. Holy shit. You kidding me? Really? How many people in Philly would throw their kids out there like that? And I even hate saying this. I mean, this is personal now when you do that. Pretty sad when Dallas loss is more exciting than a Philly win. When you have so many parts of an organization that stink, you have to look at the owner. Absolutely, Eagle. Laurie's the issue. Yeah, because he creates the culture that they work in. Absolutely. How shitty is that for a man like me and you in here or a woman in here that I have to say this? How pathetic was it that Sirianni brought his family out there so he wouldn't get too many hard questions thrown at him and he wouldn't be embarrassed in front of the national media, which he is anyway. Damn, man. You know what, man? I was like, I felt sorry for him. And to part of what Xander said to me before he went on, Sills, don't you kind of like it? No, because why address it? Isn't that wasted energy that he talked about in that press con? Hey, Xander, everyone, don't you remember when he talked about when John McMullen, our very own John McMullen, asked him about Robert Saleh being fired? He said, I can't worry about things I can't control. Why would he create that then? Because he could totally control that. Barking at the fans, being involved in the play calling, some of these stupid things that he's doing. Isn't that wasted energy? That's self-inflicted. All the things he said, I can't worry about that kind of shit. Well, what about your own job? You could have controlled that. Laurie's such a nerdy. Thinks Sirianni's antics are cool. Dude, the only reason that guy's not in the principal's office today because they won. His unprofessional behavior and his incompetence as a play caller are shrouded by the winning. Do you know why you're only winning 20-16? Because that coach is in the way from you winning 28-16. How about this? Have you ever seen an Eagle team win 20-16 and look like they lost? The Browns didn't even play well. It wasn't like the Browns played well. I mean, let's not make the Browns out to be anything that they're not. They're not a good offensive team. Hit the like button, please. Sills, would Belichick act like that? You know what's funny? I watched that Belichick. Guys were talking about replacing a 37-year-old at the time, Tom Brady. Because we're on to Cincinnati. Bill, you guys didn't play. We're on to Cincinnati. Bill, what did you make of the effort? We're on to Cincinnati. And people hated Belichick for that mentality. And they ripped him because you know why? He gave them nothing. Bill Belichick's personality towards the media is classic. Because you know why? You can't touch that guy's fucking resume. He looks at you and laughs. Now I can't win without that. Hey, fuck you. Got 6 rings. 2 as a coordinator. I got 8 rings. And I coached the 2 greatest players on both sides of the ball. You all can blow me. I don't care. But that's not Nick. I hope the Eagles win enough to keep Sirianni spoken like a true cowboy guy. So we know how. So we know why Big Dom is on the sidelines to keep Nick in check. Clearly, Dom wasn't doing his job. I think Dom was probably stunned that he ran over to the crowd and started screaming at him. He probably couldn't believe what he was seeing. I mean, all right. I'm sure this will be a massive topic throughout the day. And it's continued. God, by the way, everybody nationally is making fun of him. Your coach is a joke. This guy's the modern day Rich Kotite. And he's your guy. Wow. The Philadelphia Eagles have a laughingstock for a head coach. And there's nothing you can do about it because your owner likes that setup, according to like what Xander said, because it is a setup. Sirianni's the Jason Garrett of the Eagles. It's a great comparison. Anthony, frankly, it looks like a nervous breakdown for him. Dude, and let me ask you this. Not that shaving your head's a big deal. But when you combine it all, shaving your head, screaming at the crowd, he seriously looks like the guy who was in the movie Taxi. What's next? He's going to take a rifle out or a gun? I mean, this guy looks like a serial killer now. I mean, he's so erratic in his behavior. Tried to calm Carter down versus Saints. Then turns around and does that right. I mean, that guy looks like the guy from the Taxi Driver. The guy who was like stalking Jodie Foster. You're like, dude, I mean, he looks like a guy who's going to get on a roof and take a shot at somebody. I'm like, so he shaves his head, starts screaming at people. You're telling me you don't think that's a nuclear meltdown? Damn. This kind of guy you want on your side. There you go, M. Reyes. He's happy Sirianni's his coach. There's going to be some people out there like him that are. He loves Nick Sirianni. He thought that was cool. He thought his team not being prepared like that was cool too. I'm sure of it. Right? Good old Nicky Kotite. How you doing? Damn it, I just stepped in Sills walking my dog. No. You mean you stepped in a Sirianni? Because I'll have to wipe my Sirianni soon. Says I looked up Todd Haley with the Steelers and Browns. He's just like Dick Sirianni. He's a cancer on this team, and I need someone like Jalen or BG to speak up on it. They're never going to. Now, when you make $50 million, you're not going to go against the company. Jalen's a company man. So is BG, and so is Jason Kelsey. They're all company guys. You don't speak against the company. Company dudes. Dude, that Lions team looks absolutely sensational. That's why I picked them to win the Super Bowl. All right, let's get to the takeaways from the game. and talk about the team. I just spent 35 minutes on that asshole. Once again, 2016 Eagles get the win. They run their record of 3-2. I watched two bad football teams play a game on Sunday at Lincoln Financial. It was a horrifically played football game on both sides of the football, with the Eagles making plays because they're a more talented roster. The Browns stuffed the Eagle run game and did a great job, and they made Jalen Hurts beat them. I thought Vic Fangio did a nice job, and I thought he was more aggressive than I've seen him so far this year. It must have been a priority to get after Deshaun Watson, because Vic Fangio was very aggressive in this game. He did things in this game, especially with pressure, that he hasn't done in the first four. Why is Sirianni still the head coach? Seriously. Because the owner loves having a scapegoat. Do you understand, Gary? Gary, Nick Sirianni is a pseudo version of Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell takes all the slings and arrows and bad things that happen that people hate in the league, and that's why he makes $65 million. That's exactly what you have with your head coach. That's why he's taking the blame for all the shit he calls, both defensively and offensively, and no one believes him. The press conference with his kids that he excited due to bipolar. The press conference with his kids that he's excited due to bipolar. Kimberly, bringing your kids like that up there, I didn't know what he was doing. A press conference after a game like that, where you're going to be questioned for your unprofessionalism, you bring your kids to? I might want to shield my kids. You bring your kids to that'd be like bringing your kids to a firing. You people want every drive to be a TD, every defensive possession to be a 3-and-out, unrealistic expectations. Jarrell, I just want a professional operation. That's not what we're saying here. You're way off. Brother, I love you, man, but you're off here. That's not what I'm saying. This ain't about wins and loses. This is about preparation, being prepared, working on the things that make you great, working on the things that don't make you great, acting like a pro on the sidelines. I'm not even talking about the winning and losing yet. I'm talking about just a clean operation on going to work and not playing down to your competition like they did. That's all I'm saying here. I mean, nobody's saying perfect. No, well, you don't have to worry about that, Jarrell. They're the only team in the first time in franchise history they haven't scored a point in the first quarter. Let's get real. We have absolutely no lack of talent on offense. The biggest problem has to be Hurts. How much so does Moore have into play calling this team? This offense looks awful. And Hurts isn't a top 20 quarterback. Hey, 0-1, you tell me if that doesn't look the same. Dude, nobody's hating on Jalen here. I'm going to get to him. By the way, please hit the like button. Let me get through what my takeaways are here. I thought Vic was very aggressive. You were aggressive against the shitty offense. Yeah, good. Devontae Smith was explosive. 3 catches, 21 yards a catch. Touchdown. He was explosive. Sills, I get the premise behind his game. Should have been a blowout, but it wasn't as close as the box score. The Browns offense scored 0 points. That's not the point, though, my friend. My point is you made it a fourth quarter game against a shitty football team that still had a chance to win it. when that thing should have been blown out. That was a blowout team. You should have blew that team out playing a D game. You played a D- game. Eagles have a fall guy every year. Nick's purpose are these charades. Can't have Dream Team 2.0. Kellen is the same guy, more tactful. Howie can't go down. Hey, clairvoyant, absolutely. Just different name. Remember what I said? Different names. And like I told you too on Friday, take the points. Eagles aren't scoring. They're not going to beat them by more than 9 points. Absolutely no way. Absolutely no way were they going to. I mean, if they had been playing clean football and scoring a ton of points, there's no way they were going to get those guys in the end zone. They did get back to motion. There was some more motion. Get this, though. How absolutely predictable is this going to be in 2 weeks? So I see when Devontae and AJ are not on the field, Kellen goes away from motion. But when those two guys are back on the field, they go back to motion. I got it now. He likes going to those two guys and no one else. Wow. Talk about predictability. Coordinators will figure this out in 8 quarters. Dude, we're sitting here figuring that out. You're right. African turf, he goes like this. Sills back to motion. I know. I saw it too. And I went like this. That's so predictable. They're going to throw to the numbers again. Guys are going to get their numbers, but are you going to get wins? Same as a year ago. This is the same shit. There you go, Brian. Brian, it's going to catch you again. Brian, it's going to catch you again. We had a Bryce Huff sighting. Good. Half a sack, couple tackles. Someone asked me in the postgame show, Sills, was Xander? He asked me in the postgame show. Well, let's get a trend going here. That's a beginning. It's a beginning. I wouldn't write home about anything here, but that's a beginning. Okay? All super chats go to the top. Please hit the like button. You guys have been great so far. Thank you so much. Sills, this offense looks like the same as a year ago. There is 2 consistent variables, Sirianni and Hurts. We need to remove one to see what it is. I'd like to see Hurts without Sirianni. Yeah, me too. Me too. Me too. By the way, you see some folks in here making excuses. Once again, they're the same people that were telling me 10-1 last year. And I kept telling you, it'll catch you. And it did. Same here. It'll catch you. This is a wild card team at best. A coach is supposed to be the steady presence on a good team, not the unpredictable guy. Blame Howie for doubling down. Absolutely. Okay? We were applauding a mediocre performance against a shitty team. How far have we fallen? Do you think when Lane said the offense was constipated, did he mean Hurts? I think he means the play caller. Hurts has confused stink face look every single pre-snap. Breed of none. A little bit. That's a good observation by you. A little bit. I saw it. How about this here? I want to get to one more. Let me get through this here. You know what I did like about Hurts? He took the game away from the coordinator and the head coach on the last play and audibled out of it. Xander even said it on the post-game show. What a risky throw that you could have given the Browns the opportunity to win the game if there's a turnover. You know what? I'd rather die with that than die with Sirianni or Kellen Moore's decisions. You're only going to go as far as your quarterback. How many times does Xander say that? You're only going to go as far as that guy takes you. And if that guy took the game into his hands, I am totally cool with that, even if he turned the ball over. That was a Jalen Hurts decision. Well, it's about fucking time. It's about time. There is no question. Kellen Moore is struggling with something offensively. He's struggling. The rhythm is not there. And it's, hey, can I ask you something? So Kellen Moore, when you put a game plan together all week and you had the first 25 plays scripted, and those are the plays that you are probably going to be your best 25 plays, having watched hours of tape, conversations with your assistants, you put them down on a script and you go against what you think is going to put you in the end zone, right? It's the most scripted part of the game plan or the first 25 plays. How in the world is it that you come out of a bye and your first two series, the quarterback goes 0-5 and they have 3 and outs out the ass like that, and they finished off the fact that they haven't, for 5 straight games, scored a point in the first quarter. Not even a field goal. Isn't that supposed to be a part of the football game that you've scripted out with numerous conversations? That's right. And you know what? It seems to be your most ineffective part of the game. This doesn't look like any of Moore's offenses from the past. Not in Dallas for sure. It screams Sirianni. He's struggling with the power to call his own offense. DJ saying this could be right. Get this. McAfee's doing skits of your head coach. Wow. Hurts finished the game, though, 16-20, 264, 2 TDs, 33 yards rushing, and most importantly, no turnovers. I thought Jalen played well. I did. I thought he played well, man. I still think there were some shitty throws out there that he made. Overthrows, underthrows. He's not the most accurate guy when it comes to making critical plays to keep series going, but he was good. I have no problem with his play. Jalen, as a matter of fact, is the reason you won the game because they stopped Barkley. Cleveland said this. They don't believe he can win, and he did. He did. He found his 2 favorite receivers, and it was enough because of all the injuries that Cleveland had on the other side to get the job done. Barely. Still's the best defensive player for the Eagles, Deshaun Watson. Could you imagine Belichick with his grandkids at the presser? No. By the way, any competent quarterback would have beat the Eagles by 10 points. Thanks for the super chats. Our head coach is the biggest clown in sports history. In Eagle history, for sure. I mean, this guy is an ass bag. I can't, I'm becoming now, it's uncomfortable to, how you get into a room where there's a guy that's, everyone's having a fun time at a party and a guy walks in the room and he makes the room uncomfortable. He's that guy. He's totally that guy. That guy makes the room uncomfortable. Dan Sileo, official ESPN video on YouTube, had the title, Nick Sirianni is a clown. After a win. Dude, you know you're an asshat when you're getting hammered after a win. My God, if they had lost, he's getting murdered after a win. Dude, I agree with James Jones. This guy looks like he snapped, like he's having a nervous breakdown. I mean, you might want to get this guy some help. This guy's having a nervous breakdown. I mean, Jalen on the blitz. Hurts looks predetermined where he goes with the ball, either AJ or Devontae. And he won't even look off the safeties. Hey, Bearded, obviously, that's what makes him so predictable. Is exactly what you're saying. That's why it looks the same as a year ago. All I say is that with Vrabel, this team is a true contender. Dude, with anybody else other than him, the team's a true contender. Jalen on blitzes. They blitzed him 53.6% of the time in that game, and he was 6 of 12 from the pocket for 105 and 2 TDs. He's definitely getting better at it. This is not going to be an issue here, or we still have to see a little bit more of a sample size, but something that you really used to hamstring him and put him in bad situations. He's playing better at it. If Lurie says he's had enough of how the world is shitting on the Eagles, who would replace Nick? Jesus. Think of somebody that is the most innocuous guy out there. Think of a guy that works at like a White Castle, or somebody that works at like a photo place, or like some sort of like Home Depot or something like that. Vrabel with this roster would be Campbell on steroids. Yeah, the guy that Jeffrey Lurie will hire, it's like Office Depot or something. Somebody from that kind of stuff. Yeah, pens and notepads are in aisle 7. Yeah, over there. Aisle 7, notepads, notepads. Lane Johnson calls your offense constipated. Wonder what he means. Barkley, 18 carries, 47 yards. They shut him down. That was the number one objective. A.J. Brown was awesome. Hey, by the way, Dallas Goedert hurt again? Jesus, Griman. Every year, it's something with this guy. Now it's a hamstring, shoulder, elbow, ankle, hamstring. Oh, God almighty. Jesus, criminy. I mean, guy, every year for the last 6 years, it's been something with him. Something with him every freaking year. Defense. Carter was really good, especially when the center went down. Good. Because that didn't happen in that Buck game. You got killed in that Buck game. But when the center went down this time, Jalen Carter showed up. He had a good game. By the way, I actually thought that the backup defensive tackles had a better first half, though. Brandon Graham, 5 tackles, pressure. I mean, he's playing really great, man. Really, this is last year for him? Okay? Really, this is the last year for him? This guy's playing really good ball. I mean, this guy's hit the fountain of middle age or some shit because he looks good, man. And by the way, he's doing it consistently. Like, he's played as good a football as anybody on defense for the first 5 weeks. Anybody on that defensive football team for the Philadelphia Eagles has been Brandon Graham. I mean, dude, he keeps this up. You're going to invite that guy's ass back, and you may give him a little extra dough to come back. I thought that was just going to be some shit thing that they do, like with the Trotter draft pick. Okay? Like that kind of shit. But that guy's playing great ball. He's playing really good football. Kudos to him, man. Good for Brandon Graham. On his 200th game, he was an impact guy. He was an impact guy. He was an impact guy. We had a Bryce Huff sighting, like I said. Wow. 5th game, there was a sighting. Now look, this is kind of the same shit that went on with Hassan Reddick. Took 6 games to get his ass going. Is this a beginning? I don't know. Half a sack, a few tackles. Hey, it's better than pitching a shutout like he has been when it comes to his statistics. Good for him. You mentioned Goddard. What about Slay? Always hurt. It's old age now with his ass. Could Philly offer Steichen more money to come back as head coach? You'd have to give up a draft choice for him. Once you have a head coach under contract or any player under contract, don't you remember the Dolphins getting their first round draft pick taken away over the Brady stuff when he was under contract with the Buccaneers? They penalized the Dolphins. They lost a first round pick over that shit. You can't do that. That's not how that works. You'd have to give up compensation for Shane Steichen, and Jim Irsay would want a high pick. You know why? Because he feels jobbed out of the whole Carson Wentz thing. So to go get Shane Steichen, the only way you're going to hire Shane Steichen as the head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles, if he gets blown out. Jim Irsay feels like he got jobbed. Josh Sweat had a great game. Josh Sweat has played pretty good 2 of the last 3 weeks. I'm starting to see Josh Sweat at 22 again. He had a really good football game. Sweat is playing good. Cooper DeJean. I'm pretty shocked. I'll admit it. Guy missed all the training camp. That guy's a torpedo running to the ball. And he's got good tracking. He's got great pursuit angles. He keeps everything in front of him. I mean, had to be the reason that Vic didn't put him in because he just didn't feel maybe conditioning-wise, or he didn't maybe know the defense and the defensive schemes enough to feel comfortable putting him in and starting him. Okay? That's an upgrade. They're in your slot. By the way, you'll never see him on the numbers. Because if he can carve out that position for him, a slot safety in today's NFL, where do people throw the ball? They throw the ball to the middle of the field. That's an asset position. Okay? Safety and slot. You can play both. You're going to make some money. You're going to make some money. It's truly an upgrade over Avonte Maddox. Okay? Avonte Maddox now creates depth for you there at that position, too. Not saying that Avonte is great in any way, but it creates depth. Ultimately, just unsatisfying win, but again, the two things that you come away with from a team perspective, and not that whole Sirianni bullshit, you didn't turn the ball over. You won the game. You're moving on to a divisional opponent in New York Giants. Okay? You're moving on to an opponent that, in theory, the Eagles have handled pretty handily over the last 3 years. I know last year I get it. I got it. Pizza guy beat you. The team was in a nuclear meltdown. Okay? But you got 2 weeks here now where you can get yourself going here and start to gather some steam. Folks, week 6 concludes tonight. You're going into week 7 now. We're not talking about small sample sizes now. You're starting to get closer to the middle of the season here. You got to start finding your identity and a rhythm. Seals firing Nick now. Do we get better under Moore? How about this, Justo? It's a great question. Do you think there'd be less noise if Nick is creating noise? That's not needed. Don't you agree? Dude, take all the bullshit. Hey, dude, Justo, if you took the bullshit away, it would give you more clarity. Nick is just he's a cancer. 2 games in a row, no interceptions for Hurts. It's a great one more game. You're now talking about a trend. Good. Good. Hit the like button, please. By the numbers now. I'm going to show you. Dude, the Eagles were fighting themselves in this game. They weren't fighting the Browns. What did the Browns stretch? What did the Browns do in this game? First downs, 19 for Philly. Cleveland, 14. Dude, I think Cleveland's defense played great. I think they played great. You hold the Eagles to 20 points, and you kept your team in the game. Myles Garrett was the best player on the field, and that includes A.J. Brown. He's the best player on the field. By the way, those 2 guys, it was them 2 and then everyone else. I mean, Myles Garrett is some football player. What an absolute insane player he is. Okay? Here, get this. The Browns held the Eagles to 62 plays, and Cleveland only had 53. That's not a shocker. Cleveland stinks. Total yards. Cleveland had 244 yards of total offense. It's kind of what they've been doing all year. You know, think about it. How many people think that the Eagles defense played great against the Browns? How many? I'm going to show you how this is fool's gold. Okay? How many people think the Eagle defense played great? And I'm going to make a point to you with trends. Abe goes, I don't. I think they played C-, Jarrell. C+. Okay. So you guys don't think it was B is way out of hand. I thought so, but convince me. I'm adding trading for Myles Garrett. Wow. B. Good, not great. Okay, here. Some of you can help me on this. Xander, I think you threw some of these numbers up. What were the Browns averaging as points going into this game? Wasn't it between 16 and 18 points? Well, they hit their average. Weren't they averaging about 253 yards a game? Well, they had 244 total yards. Wasn't the quarterback averaging 154 yards a game? They had 144. They actually did better in rushing. They're averaging 91, got 100. The Browns didn't do anything special. They did exactly who they were. You didn't do anything special to them. They hit all their numbers. That's what they were doing as an average coming into the game. 16 to 18 points a game. 244 yards of total offense, 250, I think it was, 251. I mean, you didn't do anything special in this game. That's why it's an underwhelming performance. Seals Cowgirls blew out the Browns. Are they better? No. Okay? I mean, where do you think you did anything special to the Browns? The Browns were who they were. You didn't do anything special. And you're hearing people say they played great, holding these numbers. This is what they did coming into the game. Seals, they didn't let up a single TD. Like I said, they average 16 points a game. Okay. They don't score TDs anyway. RTF. The Browns don't score points. But by the way, remember what Sanders said? Godfrey, you had 5 sacks? Aren't they averaging giving up 7? What did you do special? The Browns were who they were. I went back and looked at all the numbers. They hit all their seasonal numbers. This is who they are under Deshaun Watson. 16, 18 points, 53 to 60 plays a game, 251 yards of total offense. They're coming into the game, 244, 7 off. You didn't do anything special. It was like a C-minus effort. I mean, the Browns were who they are. And now you got people that will have fool's gold that you guys played well defensively when you really didn't. You played down to competition. So one thing Xander kept bringing up, they played down to their competition. That's exactly what they did. They played down right to the numbers. I mean, Cincinnati will be our test. I don't think they're great defensively, but offensively they will. Hey, Bob, you know what I'm saying? They didn't do anything special defensively. Sills, they hit their average with help of an outstanding special teams play. They got them to their average, but keeping their offense to 9 means our scoring defense was better. Okay. I'm talking about just as an overall group, Bob, that it was a fourth quarter game, Bob, against the shittiest offense in the league. Do you agree, Bob? They made it a fourth quarter game. By the way, it's 2 weeks in a row. Your special teams and Michael Clay should be questioned. You had a block punt the week before against the Bucks. Now you had a block field goal that went for 6. You think he should answer some questions on that? And by the way, how about the sequence of that? Barkley misses a block. Hurts gets sacked. Then you have a complete catastrophe with the block by Myles Garrett. He's known jumping over people. He blocks it and takes it back. Barkley was not engaged in that game. There were many times he looked like he was just not engaged. Okay? Giants going to give us some problems. That D looks good. Their front, and with Mulata being out, King, we'll see. Seals, you said if they had a competent quarterback, they'd win. But if they had Nick Chubb, they'd probably win. Hurts passed for 256 yards on the Browns, most allowed by the Browns defense this season. Okay. I wasn't talking about, I think the Browns played great defensively. I mean, for an incompetent offense that they have, what exactly are you expecting them to do? They look like the 2023 version of the Jets right now. They have no offense, and they can play defense. And if you're not prepared to play, you're going to have inconsistent play like the Eagles did on Sunday. Because they can force you into that because they have some playmakers. By the way, when people on the broadcast were talking about injuries, hey, welcome to the league, man. The Eagles were suffering injuries too. Goddard went out. Slay got hurt. Mulata got hurt. By the way, Mulata's injury looks severe. Like, I'm talking month and a half stuff. I mean, I posted a video of him, and he was on crutches. And that thing don't look like he's playing anytime soon. I'll tell you this. There is no way Jordan Mulata is playing in a month. No way. That guy's out at least 4 weeks. And Fred Johnson's going to have to step up. Now, you got yourself a really good coach in Jeff Stoutland. But make no mistake about it. I mean, look, I see somebody bring up Aiden Hutchinson. Hey, welcome to the league. Hey, Sills, you see Aiden Hutchinson's injury? Horrible. Part of it, though. I mean, dude, you got to remember something. When you play in a league like that, injuries are not a shocker to players and coaches. Okay? Do you pray for the guy? Of course. But it's on to the next drill. It's just what it is. Hey, Jordan Mulata's out. Listen, it sounds horrible, but okay, so what? Giants D leads the league in sacks so far. Hey, Nell, yeah, because, Kayvon Thibodeau looks like he's turning into somebody. The nose is a fantastic football player, and you don't have Kelsey there now. And Brian Burns is on the other side. They got a good front four, man. I'll say it one more time. The Giants have the best front four in the NFL. Or excuse me, in the NFC East. They have the best front four. There's nobody on the Eagles that plays like the Giant knows. Thibodeau is better than anything you have as a pass rusher, and Burns is the best defensive end in the East. And that includes Michael Parsons. Okay? Thibodeau's on IR. He's out 4 weeks, broken wrist. Okay? That helps. That helps. Hey, Sills, Mark Holmes ate a lot of food. Hey, dude, that guy's going to put on about 60 pounds in the next 4 weeks. Let's go to players. Hurts. 16-25 after going 0-5. He ended up 16-20, but overall 264, 2 touchdowns, no turnovers. Played a clean game, man. And you know what? Remember I kept pressing Xander, John, and everybody and all of you? If Jalen Hurts throws the ball 25 times and you carry the ball over 35 times, that's a remedy to win. That's exactly what they did. They were listening to Big Sills. Hurts, don't throw the ball more than 25 times. He ran the ball 14. Get AJ and those guys going with explosion plays. Don't throw the ball 37 times. You don't need to. You could play a C- effort and beat that team, and that's exactly what they did. So what do you think about Hurts now? My opinion on Jalen Hurts hasn't changed 1 second. What Do you actually think one performance changes your opinion on a fucking player? Are you out of your mind? Sills, if we lose to the Giants or it's close like Browns with Barkley, what happens in Philly? Elaborate. Muses, please. Hilarious to listen to. Um, Status quo. That owner's not doing anything. That owner's not doing shit, man. That owner likes what's going on. Works both ways. You get bad games, you still got to support. This is not talking about, hey, okay, does that go for your fucking head coach too, M. Reyes? Does that go for your head coach when things are going good? He could sit around there slapping people on the back, telling you how great your fans are. And then when the fans start to chant, fire Nick, or things look bad in the first couple series, and he calls the fans out, doesn't that apply to him too? I mean, you still got to support, don't you? Right? Terrell goes back on the coach again. Terrell wants that shit to go away because everyone in the country is making fun of his coach. I don't blame him. I don't blame him. If I were Jarrell too, I wouldn't want that topic continually brought up. You know why? It's probably embarrassing for him that he's got some high school coach coaching his team. It's probably embarrassing for him. I don't blame him. Hey, Sills, can you not bring that up anymore? Back on the coach again? Back on the coach again. That's all the country's talking about. The only people that aren't talking about Nick Sirianni are the people that are in Philly. You know why? Because the organization is now controlling the media today. I guarantee you, he's not going to be pressed for his behavior by anybody in the media today. No way. Bob Lang will go fucking nuts on you. I guarantee it. Talk about Howie. Why? I mean Howie. We was winning games and playing how we supposed to play. Nick's antics wouldn't be a big deal. Winning curves everything. Jeff, the only reason, but Jeff, think about this. Winning's not curing it. He did win. And everyone's killing him for his antics and his meddling in the play calling. Can you imagine if he is losing? Jeff, he's getting murdered and he's winning. So your theory here is wrong. They won and he's getting murdered. He's getting murdered. Hey, I get Jarrell. I don't blame him. We love Jarrell. Absolutely. Hey, I don't blame him. I wouldn't want that shit going around that I have an embarrassment for a head coach. Hey, I'm Reyes. You can fucking support your guy all you want. He's a loser. And by the way, I'm not talking to you any longer about Nick anymore. You want to bring up something else, but I'm not bringing that loser up with you. And I'm not going to sit here and defend a guy who's a child and acts like a child and needs a stripper's bodyguard on the sidelines because he's so immature. What coach has a bodyguard on the sideline because he can't act right? I mean, this guy has to have someone watch over him because of his behavior. This guy's 40 some odd years old. When are you going to fucking grow up? When are you going to grow up? How about that? I'll tell you what, Jarrell. How about just grow up? You know, just grow up. Barkley, 18 carries, 47. By the way, will somebody do me a favor? Will somebody tell me how many carries Jalen Hurts has on the year so far? Okay, now John is right. There were 2 kneel downs that were involved in that. And by the way, I happen to disagree with John on the tush push. I think it is a dangerous play. You're inside there with all that beef. You ever notice they don't let Mahomes do that any longer after he got hurt in that Tennessee game? He doesn't do that quarterback sneak any longer. They do not do that any longer in Kansas City. They don't put him in harm's way with that. You got about 900 pounds or 1,200 pounds inside that little confined space. I mean, did you not see what happened to Aiden Hutchinson in traffic? Okay. Slayer, is that 56 carries? Let's do something here. 56 carries for Jalen Hurts. Okay. He's on pace for 190 carries this year. Never make it. Hey, Sills, would you accept the loss yesterday if it meant getting rid of the cancer coach in the locker room because winning keeps him around? No. I'm not taking an L just to make a point. No. I can't do that, dude. 34. I can't do it. I can't say let's just throw again. I cannot do that. I just can't do it. I'm not losing a game. Hey, I hate losing more than I hate Nick. Okay? So I can't do that. And I got the premise. Big Sileo, you know what is pissing me off more than anything else is the fact that nobody's talking about the offensive line. They're bad right now. I don't know, Richard, if the offensive line is bad right now or it's a philosophical change that they want to throw the ball more and not be physical at the point of attack. I think it's like a course change that they're doing in Philly. You know, back in the day, the Pittsburgh Steelers used to run the ball with Bettis and everybody and all the great backs that they've had in the past. Then they got into throwing the ball all around the yard, and they became a finesse team. And I think that's kind of, in a way, what's happened here a little bit. Okay? Okay? Did you see how Nick's 4-year-old looked at him? She's adorable. No comment on kids. The kids are great. I love the daughter. I should have known the daughter was trying to tell us when she first got in front of the microphone when she was goofing on her father. She was trying to tell us right there that this guy's a word salad. I should have picked it up. Okay? I should have picked that up. Hit the like button. Appreciate it, guys. Thank you for coming aboard here. A.J. Brown was a star, as always. 6 catches, 117, and a TD. Cal Kutera showed up. 4 catches, 67 yards. Devontae, 3 impact plays, 64 yards and a touchdown. He's a great football player. And now, my game balls. Here are my game balls. Guys I thought played exceptional football. And guys who helped win that game in an uninspired effort. Gave it to Jalen Hurts. No turnovers. My favorite play of the game that Jalen Hurts played yesterday was audibling out of Kellen Moore and Nick Sirianni's offense and taking matters into his own hand. Enough was enough. He wasn't going to let them control the narrative of the ending of the game. I so loved that. I so loved it. When I found out that he audibled out of it, and like Xander said, risk, but it's growth. I'm not putting it in their hands. Because you know what Jalen probably thought? Now, this is an opinion. You remember when you were in like little school? You were like in middle school and you got called to the principal's office and you were like, you got to apologize because you punched somebody or you did something. Sister Judith has me say something in front of the school that I have to apologize because I may have offended somebody. That's what this feels like. I mean, this guy is such an ass bag, and it's apologizing. He opens the press conference apologizing to the Eagle fans instead of talking about the game that you played on Sunday. I'm here talking about giving game balls out, and he's apologizing to you for his behavior. I mean, holy shit. This is too fucking funny, man. Oh my God. M. Reyes' hero is such an ass clown. He's apologizing to you. I'm sorry for calling you motherfuckers. Apology not accepted. Apology not accepted. Fuck you for starting to chant, fire Nick. Oh, I'm sorry. Dude. Bray. Oh. Here he is. Serial killer Sirianni. I was trying to bring energy yesterday, and I'm sorry and disappointed how my energy was directed at the end of the game. I have to have better wisdom. Oh my God, this is fucking too funny. Hey, what was the name of that guy? What was the character, the name of that guy that was in Taxi Driver? Don't take that picture down yet, Xander. What was the name of that guy that was in? What was the name of De Niro's character in Taxi Driver? Travis Bickle. Hey, wait a minute. Do me a favor. He can't even apologize good. Hey, here's Travis Bickle. Put him up there. There's Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. Look at him. Travis Bickle. Right there, man. That's the guy Jodie Foster was afraid of. Travis Bickle. Look at this guy, man. Holy shit. This guy, hey, is this the guy that was in Butler, Pennsylvania? Holy shit. Is this the guy on the roof? This guy looks like he belongs on a roof. Don't worry, Sills. Your old pal Nick apologized. How you doing? Now go shake his hands and tell him how good of a clown. I mean, coach he is. Travis Bickle. There he is, head coach of the Philadelphia Eagles. Travis Bickle. Wanted. Dead or alive. Have you seen this head coach of the Eagles? This guy belongs on a dead or alive poster. Or like, look at this picture here, Xander. I saw this when I went to go mail some letters at the post office. 6th most wanted man in Philadelphia and in America. Yeah, this guy belongs on Natural Born Killers. Have you seen this guy? Yeah, I saw him on the sidelines. He was he was parading and masquerading as the head coach of the Eagles. Holy shit. Travis. Hey, do you work for the CIA? Yeah. Hey, have you worked for the CIA? Holy cow, man. Hey, Travis Bickle, he shaved his head too, right? He had a mohawk. Nick, oh my God, that would have been even better if Nick would have had a mohawk. And he was screaming at you with a mohawk. Holy shit. Look at this guy. Dude, that looks like an arrest picture. Not that I would know. Sirianni, you talking to me? Oh my God. Wait, one more time, Xander. Put that up here. Hey, John McMullen, are you talking to me? Hey, John McMullen, are you talking to me? You talking to me? Are you talking to me? John McMullen, are you talking to me? Oh, hey, are you talking to me, Jeff McClain? Are you who are you talking to? What? All right, that's enough of that shit. Whew. Man, Travis Bickle, head coach of the Eagles. Oh, this is too good, man. Dude, I never thought wait a minute. I never thought a win would create more shit than I've ever seen before in my life. Look at that picture, man. That's a sign of leadership right there. Hey, I wish he was running for president in November. Look at this guy. Holy shit, man. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to run through a wall for this guy. Hairdo and all. Coach Travis Sirianni. Get this. I'm not the only guy making fun of this guy. Here is my game balls. Jalen Hurts. A.J. Brown. Dude, he's a star player. I gave one to Jalen Carter. I gave one to Josh Sweat. I gave one to Cooper DeJean. I gave one to Brandon Graham. And I gave one to Devontae Smith. Jesus. Those are my takeaways. Sirianni turning Sills into George Carlin. Yeah. It's easy, dude. JAKIB, it's not that hard. Your coach is a joke. It's not that hard. Nick Sirianni would still be a better president than Harris. I know I'd stepped in that one. Give one to Alfredo for giving us 30 more seasons to fire and keep up the good work. Thank you very much, King. Sweat earned his pay this year. He has. And I think he's playing really well. I do. I think he's playing really well. Dude. Coach's ass. Good night. Hey, my overall takeaway from the game was that it was uninspiring. You played down to the Browns' competition. The Browns played who they were. If you didn't turn the ball over, you were going to win, which you didn't. You beat them with a C- effort. And yeah, that's what it was. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no epiphany here. We won in spite of Nick. He sabotages his team. Hey, like I said to you, here are the numbers. Like Xander said last Friday. Dude, Sills, they're giving up 7 sacks a game. Well, Eagles had 5. They're averaging between 16 and 18 points. That's kind of what they did. They're averaging 251 yards a game, 244. The Eagles didn't do anything special on defense. The Browns played up to their capabilities. The Eagles played down to that team offensively. I mean, it was a fourth quarter football game. Stills, they didn't give up a TD. Not the point. The Browns suck. Nobody said their defense blew.